So last night we had the Sony pre-TGS, Tokyo Game Show conference, where they did a live stream and they told us about a bunch of games. And obviously we thought there would be some big announcement there after all the hints and alluding that Super Metal Dave was doing. And it's now obviously to a point the next day where nothing happened and everybody is disappointed, frustrated, and mad. And I can understand that. Now, looking at Twitter, obviously Dave is getting hit pretty hard. I think most of us expected that the next day. I do want to point out a few things here, though, because I can't help but feel some of this is my fault, mostly because, well, I kind of wildly speculated for a while. So I feel a connection to a lot of my subscribers, and I kind of want to set the record straight, because I feel like if I make a mistake on something like this, I should be upfront with you guys and take responsibility for it. So, number one, well, the first thing that I really see right away is obviously the level of intensity of the rumor from Dave. It was definitely enhanced to a degree, especially in its reach when I talked about it as much as I did. I obviously, like you guys, get excited when there is a possibility of something happening in games, especially in the gaming community, no matter what company it is. If they have what Dave was calling a bombshell, I like to know what it is and try to figure it out, obviously. So I speculated. I talked about the PlayStation handheld that they might make, the Vita 2. We talked about it at length multiple times. And then I talked about maybe something's going on with the gaming acquisition, or maybe they're doing something with their PlayStation VR. But I definitely harped on that handheld a lot. In fact, I think a lot of people believe there was going to be a handheld there because I talked about it so much. In fact, I honestly think that mostly is because of my speculation that there is so much belief that there was going to be a handheld there. So for that, especially if I made you stay up and lose sleep over it, I do apologize for that. Obviously, I was speculating wildly, and sometimes I could see in some of my videos when I look back that it did get the better of me at times when I was trying to figure out what this announcement was. Now, going forward, I'm not really going to talk about it much at all anymore. I need something concrete at this point to really go any further with it. So I need an announcement from Sony or whatever company it is at this point that's announcing it, or from Nintendo. As Dave has said, there's two announcements apparently happening. I need something concrete at this point. So really what I'm going to do is, going forward, I'm not really going to talk about it at all. Hopefully, if there really is an announcement, hopefully it happens at some point. But unfortunately, Dave isn't telling us much. Now, if I have any advice for Dave at this point, I would call your shot. I would say, look, this is what's happening. This is when I think it's happening. Or even if you just tell us what's happening. Like, a great example is when we found out about Pokemon Stars from Tom Phillips. Remember, he said Pokemon Stars is happening. The Nintendo Direct happened, and there was no Pokemon, no Pokemon Stars. And then obviously we didn't know when it was going to happen because he didn't tell us when it was going to happen. So we kind of moved on from there, and he didn't get a lot of flack for it. Now, if I was Dave, I would at least come to the table with what you're alluding to so we can at least view it, because if something happens and then he claims that he knew about it, it's harder for people to believe, especially now. So once again, if I guess made you lose sleep, or I got you really excited for an announcement that we thought was going to happen and it doesn't happen, and you feel let down and disappointed and upset, for that I am sorry. I hope you stick with me, choose to stick with me on Spawn Wave and all the stuff, news, analyze stuff, and everything going forward. Hopefully there's a small bump in the road. Really, at this point, like I said, I'll wait for concrete info before I really talk about it heavily anymore, if at all. So thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for Newswave. I'll see you then.